place yesterday, and today we are in the semi-final phase, and then tomorrow we'll have, I believe, the final phase. So let's look at a couple of games. I think we are a little behind, so we'll try and catch up with them as quickly as possible. And I'll be looking at some of the African chess players. Not sure I know all of them, but we look for some names that could make sense. I hope you can see the current ranking and current standing on stream, and just check if that is visible. Yes, it is. And you can see who is currently at the number one position and who is currently not in the number one position. Let's see, let's refresh this. See here, that's the current position, and we can look at the top game. Just a moment, I'll not look at in a different format. Okay, so that doesn't work. And I have no clue why it's behaving like that, because I'd set this up and it's not working exactly the way I wanted it to. Let's see, is it giving me the answer I want? Yes, it does. Okay, fine. So you'll be able to follow, except that the time is not visible in this format. Yeah, so let's just go back and have a look at that. This is Nano Kaparti, I think, from Algeria, and Atlas Lion from Morocco. And currently, Nano Kaparti is leading the tournament. How did the game start? E4, Sicilian defense, knight c3. Okay, so you can expect this translation open Sicilian. The structures likely to see the d5 is played. Okay, so in this position, pretty much, it's one of those structures that I've not fully understood really, because black seems kind of okay, but except this bishop sitting on c8, not yet developed, and with this bishop sitting on f6 developing, this bishop is a bit complicated. Unless now c3 will be played to allow that move to happen. The bishop is coming to b7. I would imagine, okay, so c3 is being played to allow this bishop to come out. And this is possibly mass exchanges happening right here. And it's very possible that this position could be fairly equal, equal pawn structure on both sides. Well, except that this majority, so white has a majority on the queen side, black has a majority on the king side. And normally a queenside majority is an advantage. Yeah, let's see how this works out. Then the second thing that you can notice, these pawns are sitting on the same color as a bishop. I don't think that's a really big deal. I think this move is not bad. I think it's possible now to play. Oh, not really. The bishop is defending. I thought you'd play a5, picks, and then this would be pickable, but I don't think that's going to work ever. This knight, how does it come into play? Maybe knight d2, knight c4. Or even better, the knight should come to the b5 square. B5 square could be attacking. In the meantime, this knight is really having a really bad time, so the knight really has to relocate. And how does it get here? Okay, not a bad move at all, except that with this check, the c2 pawn, the b2 pawn can fall. So I suspect this is probably not what white had in mind. I think this place just play, yeah, e4 has been played, picks, and maybe just, okay, was that the plan? This discovery, what is the plan? Okay, maybe I can see now a knight here, and then you pick this bishop and pick this pawn. Okay, fine. So that's the plan, and I think in general, white is a little bit better. Black is a little bit better here, just because of that mistake that allowed the knight to come out and have a very good opportunity. So yeah, as it stands now, I would imagine this move, or they're gonna draw. All right, fair enough. But I thought I don't think the draw is necessary. I think in this position, if we were to look at it again, I think we'll find that white was a little bit, black was a little bit better. Let's look at another game. I think I am Ali Chess versus Banelevich. Let's see how this has gone. D4, D5. Okay. So this is a blitz game. So really, okay. So yeah, let's see. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so black is very conservative in his approach, and yeah, the pawn comes to a2, but what is it doing? Maybe unless there's a sacrifice moving this pawn, it's very difficult. Um, um, yeah, now that bishop is also quite strong. There's a double pin here, and it's hard to tell how this knight can be removed from here. Maybe knight, well, it's this bishop is just a monster, really. So, and knight to see e5 is coming. So what do you play? I think probably knight to e4 is probably forced in this position, no? Okay, you can do the pin, come from the pin. You pick, attacking the pawn, but then after f5 is impossible in this situation. So this pawn is just lost. Oh, that was nice because this pawn is just getting lost immediately. Or so it looks. Wow, that's not a bad move at all. Actually, it is because you can just pick with the d pawn, and if and probably you can't afford to exchange queens because your pawn here is going to fall, but you could pick. Yeah, that's probably even better. And this is just better for black. Really, there is no difference, but that gives up the e4 pawn suddenly. Okay, what happens if you take the e4 pawn? I'm seeing b5. Bishop comes down. It's hard to see what's going on. All right. So this is just a threat discovered, so you can't pick the pawn. Okay, now perhaps f5 cannot be played immediately. Okay, can be picked, and now f5 can be played. I don't think giving up that pawn was necessary, but it's been done. And now I think a draw is the natural conclusion because of the opposite colored bishop. Though black is a little bit better extra pawn, it's just hard to see how progress will be made. But I think this could be slightly better for black. If the rooks are exchanged, it's a draw most likely, but Magnus Carlsen will be doing this all day, every day. So this is a penultimate round. Let's see. There's another game going on. I think we sort of have to follow the leader. I think in this position, as principally because of is this the game we saw earlier or this we've already seen? And I just want to go to the end and see in this position where yes, this is definitely a mistake. And yeah, black was slightly better, but nothing too dramatic. The game is giving a minus 0.2, which is pretty okay at this juncture. So that's just fine. My view was play here, this check. Oh, you probably will escape into this square. Okay, fair enough. So that's probably good enough. All right, let's see. If we can refresh this and look at the current round, and we can look at well, this game that's about to end, I think 24 seconds, 11 seconds each. What's going on here? Opposite colored bishops. Very difficult to win, and very possibly this is completely drawn because it's difficult for white to make any progress. But I would imagine that white would try to get through, black would try and get through onto the queen side, and probably that's going to work. Mhm. And this is probably, is there a way to force through? I think here king b5 should win, no? King b5, okay. The bishop will come back to b7, and there is no way to force through. Yeah, so this is, the king can't pass through. The king can't pass through because this bishop will come and sit back here, and the king has no way. Otherwise, the king wants to get to any one of these two squares. Yeah, this is drawn because the other way out is to come in through the e8 square, and even then the bishop will come and sit here. You can distract the bishop. Yeah, but when that happens, do we not have, I think black could try bringing the queen to this square, e4, e8, or threaten to come to e8, maybe king f8, and then the bishop comes to c6, and then I think this move will probably be fine. Bishop h8 or bishop g7, which will be a tempo move. And in this situation, I think white will be in zugzwang. Zugzwang because zugzwang means that if white moves, white loses because the king can only come up. Can he? Yeah, if the king goes down, then this one move happens. But this check is possible. So really, it's king up. This is tricky. There's no solution to this one. The king and queen can exchange, king and bishop can exchange roles, and this pawn falls. So basically, this is drawn. Okay, fair enough. I wish I had the chance to explain that in a different way. Let me just see if this will allow us. I think it will. If you go to the very end and just look at that, what I'm saying is let me just try and make some random moves that will allow for this occupation to occur. What I'm trying to say. Okay, so in this position, yes. So in this position, this is what I had in mind. And then, okay, actually, maybe just to do one. Okay, so let's waste a move. Just here. Okay, then here. And then here I was suggesting that this move is played. Okay, because then I was imagining that this is a move that will be played. Aha. So can you play here? Why not here? Then here, let's play back. Here, let's play back. I'm trying to see what's happening. Let's play back. This check. Have to play up. Then you exchange roles. Aha, now the bishop can defend from behind. Okay. Oh, this could be winning. I'm just following the engine recommendations here. Yeah, now the king will cross over. It's kind of tricky. All right. So I think definitely why Black should have continued pushing, but then because of the tournament situation, maybe they stop early to allow for. Okay, fair enough. Let's go back. Is that the last round? I'm not sure. Let's see. I will look for. Let me look for some of Africa's better known players. Let me see. I think I.M. Odirovsky was playing. South African Wolf. I'm not sure who this is. South African Wolf, but let's see how the South African Wolf is playing. And This is ongoing, this game. And we can have a look at it right now and take it back all the way. Okay, so queen's pawn, it's converted now into Catalan, is it? Yes, so um, yeah, this is a non-attack. The pawn is not being won. Then you have this break. I'm not sure why you didn't just opt to exchange the queens. Maybe black is a better player. Well, yeah, black is 100 points above. Uh, this is Botswana's Calvin Chess. Okay, no, South Africa's Calvin Chess, not Botswana. And South African move. So there are two players who probably know each other quite well. Must have played a number of games against each other. Okay, so yes, indeed, South African Wolf has won 5 games versus Calvin Chess, who has won one. So it's a 5-1 actually. Actually, not even one, 2 draws. Not bad. And this is why Black did not exchange the queens, because exchanging the queens was generally not a good idea. What's happening here? Exchanging the queens with too much material being exchanged. Let's have a look at this position. So White needs to make a move to castle, bring the rook into play. This rook needs to come into play, and what else? White probably wants to bring this bishop down to e8, bring the rook down to d8, and occupy that open file. Where can this knight go? This threat is possible with a follow-up. Okay. Okay, so moving these pawns in front of the king isn't generally a good idea. Can backfire quite unfortunately. For example, already picks this pawn would fall. Mhm. So yeah, maybe a slightly in development for black, and white would be castling into some form of trouble. And why not just play knight h5, attacking the g pawn. The knight is heading to f5 if allowed. No, that I'm not sure about. And even then, this knight was hanging, so probably that picking the knight could have been an option. And does this not just lose a knight? It does lose a knight just there. Queen e6 and the knight on c4 is toast. I'm wondering why that was done. I think black didn't realize, so this is resigns. Black should just resign immediately, I think. Yeah, you can try and pick this knight. What happens? Check, check, then rook e, then rook e8. This is resigns right here. Rook c8, I mean. So pick that first, then rook c8. Oh, actually, rook d8 is even better. This is a check, and you're off the pin, and the knight can move next. So that is attacked. Mm. The discovery doesn't have a really nice place, but it's good to be sure first. Okay, making left. How does the attack continue? Here, attacking this pawn is probably not the easiest thing to defend, but the knight can come to e1. I think this defense works. This is a very passive place, maybe here, or maybe rook out check, attack the bishop, but then these 2 pawns become problematic. So what happens here? I'm not sure how that works. Okay, you can't check. Yeah, so here a draw is not impossible. Hello, I have some medicine for you. Let me see. Okay, fair enough. So this one is probably just Mhm. Let's see. Okay, excuse me one moment. Let me answer this call. Hello. Fine, fine. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I'm streaming live. Bye. Okay. That was wife. She called using a different number, and that stream or not, you have to answer. So yeah, let's see what's going on here. And this is what I was talking about, that suddenly these 2 points are very powerful. And in fact, white has 3 points for the exchange. And I think um, even though this is not, or this is just, this could be losing. Could be, I think, is an understatement. I think this is just losing for black. Oh, but white has lost some time. White had only microseconds, so just as well. Really, South African chess, we can have a look at the analysis board for this one and just have a look at what the final position held and see whether, in fact, at the end of all this, let's have a look at that game. And I'm looking at, okay, was a better move to exchange. Okay, queen e7 was better. Yeah, so here I thought we just pick this, but maybe that's not best. Okay, that's a recommendation. Picks, picks, and that just loses. Knight. Mm-hmm. I sort of think that in the final position, wow, there's a move here that white just advances and white is already winning because of these 2 extra points. Yeah, but I think towards the end, for sure, I suspect that white was just better, and that's indeed the case. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that position, that's very painful for white. So I think that marks that.